Good evening. Well, it has been a mixed weekend of weather. For many of us, there was more heavy rain around on Saturday, but Sunday's been a little bit better. We've had a bit more of this, some blue sky and some spells of spring sunshine. This was Exminster in Devon a little earlier on. But despite the drier weather today, we've still got 40 flood warnings in force across parts of southern and eastern England, and most of them are groundwater flooding. It has been a very wet winter. We're now in meteorological spring, but let's take a look back at the past 3 months, December, January and February. You can see the blue colours indicating the areas that have been wettest through the Midlands, parts of eastern England and eastern Scotland. Some areas have had 70% more rain than we'd expect compared to the long-term average. And in terms of temperature, it's also been a very mild 3 months of winter, particularly across the southern half of the British Isles. Some places in East Anglia, for instance, have been about 2 degrees above average. It's not been as warm or as wet, though, across parts of Western Scotland and Northern Ireland. What about the week ahead? Well, bit of a mix. We start off at the early week with some rain in the forecast, but things become drier through the week. Could be some frost and some fog at times overnight. But this was the satellite and radar from earlier today. Bit of rain in the east, few showers towards the west, but generally we're in between weather systems. So for the rest of this evening and tonight, that front in the northeast clears away. Another one trying to move in from the west. But under those clear skies through this evening and tonight, we're likely to see some mist and some fog forming, particularly for prone spots like the Vale of York, the Welsh Marches as well. Temperatures down to about -2 degrees even in some of our towns and cities, touch colder than that in the more rural spots. So I think Monday morning starts off with a frost for many of us. Good deal of dry and bright weather, but more rain will roll into the southwest of England and Wales as the winds pick up around this system during the middle part of the day. A few showers too into Northern Ireland later on, whereas further north and east you're more likely to stay dry for longer. Top temperatures around about 10 or 11 degrees. And then as we head through into Tuesday, this system just drifts its way eastwards, but this weather front tends to peter out because it's bumping into high pressure in the northeast. But Tuesday, bit of early rain, I think, for some eastern areas, and then a little bit more cloud drifting in around some of these Irish sea coasts with the odd shower, but quite a good deal of dry and settled weather elsewhere. Temperatures up to around 8 to 12 degrees for most of us. Now into the middle of the week, we have got high pressure across Scandinavia. Weather fronts will try and nudge in from the west, but they won't progress too far, I think, as they hit that area of high pressure. Few showers for parts of the southwest of England on Wednesday up towards Northern Ireland, breezy here, whereas further east you're likely to stay dry with some sunshine. Could be some early mist and perhaps a touch of frost as well, and that story is going to continue for the last few days of the working week. So for Thursday, again, higher pressure sits across Scandinavia. This front well out towards the west. So I think for Thursday, some early fog and frost. The breeze coming in from the southeast. So temperatures for most of us around about 10 or 11 degrees, perhaps a little bit cooler where you're exposed to that breeze around some of those North Sea coasts. Similar picture, not much change as we look into Friday. So again, some early frost and fog possible, but another largely dry day with some sunshine. Again, a bit cooler around some of these eastern coasts, but temperatures really fairly typical for the time of year. And at least you'll be pleased to hear, I think, that we are in for a drier week ahead for most of us. But for now, it's back to Charlotte.